I'm making this video to help out a few people that might run into the same situation that I did. A water pipe from the outside of my house to the inside of my house is frozen from the wellhead into my pressure tank. So I need to get it unthawed, and I've had to do this once before. Came up with the idea myself because I couldn't find a video or any help online to figure out what I had to do. Well, what I have here is my pressure tank. A water line coming out of my pressure tank feeding my house there on the right. This one coming through the wall is coming from my well. It's about 15 feet from here to the outside where my well goes down into the ground. So what I'm going to do is remove that knuckle here, take off this piece here, past the valve, just revealing the pipe right here about 4 inches, and then I will be back. Now I've removed that elbow from my pressure tank and from the wall, revealing that 4 to 5 inch pipe that I was telling you about. I also did shut down the power at the circuit panel for the water pressure tank, but I did that as soon as I knew that my pipes were frozen. That way my pressure tank didn't continue to pump, burning out my well pump continuing to pump, burning it out. So that is off. No water's flowing through. It was froze up, nothing was draining. I needed a couple pipe wrenches to fix it. Put everything back together. I got pipe tape, some pipe dope, and to fix this problem, I came up with this idea. Worked once before, I'm going to try it again. What I have here is a little mini pump. Comes from an aquarium. Cost $12 off of Amazon. I bought it to keep my bird feeder unthawed during the winter and to keep water flowing in it. But I came up with this idea. Took it out of the bird feeder, and it's just for an aquarium, so you can probably pick them up at Walmart or any pet store for a few bucks. I taped it to a piece of PEX tubing. Must be around 20 feet long or so. Enough to get me out and past my frozen spot underground. And what I'm going to do is insert this PEX tubing into that pipe. And I'll show you that next. Now I've taken a bucket and placed underneath the pipe. I filled it up with about a gallon of water. It's like a 2-gallon bucket. I got that gallon of water from my aquarium. Since I don't have running water in the house, that's the only water I had. I guess you could also dip it from the toilet holding tank if you had that. Last time it worked, I needed at least a gallon of water, and we will reuse that gallon of water over and over again to get this pipe unthawed. The pump is working, and you can see the water is flowing in there. That water is from the pump itself that's down in the bucket. The water is being pumped through the hose down the pipe to where the frozen part is. The water should keep thawing, which I realize I did say unthaw before, which is incorrect. It should be thawing the ice back there. Now it's almost been 10 minutes since this has been running. and every couple minutes or so I just press the hose a little further in because the ice is melting and I can progress the current of the flow a little further down the tube. Now, I had marked it with tape. In 10 minutes, I made it about 10 inches, so I'm melting ice at about an inch per minute, which isn't extremely fast, but it'll do. This pump is only like an 80 gallon per hour pump, maybe 60. You can get all the way up to a couple hundred gallons per hour for a pump. And if you're doing this, I'd recommend getting as fast as you can. And this PEX tubing is, I believe, like $30 for 100 feet. Also comes in 500 foot rolls. You could use other tubing, but this stuff's pretty cheap. So for, you know, 50 bucks and some pipe tape, pipe dope, and hose and a little pump, you can get your pipe thawed. And instead of digging up your pipe and heating it with a heat gun or anything else, or a torch during the winter, this will work and also save you a couple $100 and having a plumber come out if you feel like tackling the project yourself. I don't have running water yet, but I should hear another foot of ice break through, and we'll touch back up then. Now, we're to the point, I just was watching the water flow and I had a big release of water here. And I assume that water came from the other side of the frozen pipe that was built up that wasn't froze yet. All of a sudden, it all released at once. Now, I should be able to see how much frozen ice was there where I progressed. And it looks like I had about 2 feet of frozen pipe. Now that's not bad, but it just froze last night. So if you let it sit longer, the freeze is going to progress down the pipe. Push this back in. I should be able to progress with the hose quite a ways. And I think that's at the elbow. So I'm pretty sure I've thawed the pipe. I'm going to pull this back apart, turn on my water pump, and see if any water comes out. If it does, I'm done. I'll reassemble and do an overview of what I've done. Now after turning the pump on, I got flowing water. Now I just need to reassemble the pieces that I've taken apart. Alright, I have reassembled my water pipe, put it back in there, use some pipe tape. I use pipe dope on my cup link here. Not always necessary, but mine leaks slightly, so I put pipe dope on it. I don't believe they're designed to need it, but mine does. Quick overview of the materials that I used again. I used 1/2 inch PEX tubing so it would fit inside my 1 inch galvanized pipe from the outside. You need enough room around the tube you insert to let water flow back through the system. Bucket to catch and recycle the water that I'm using with my small little pump here. Like I said, it's an aquarium pump. Find it in the pet stores. This is an 80 gallon flow. You can get much bigger ones to make the process go a little faster. I needed a couple of pipe wrenches to break apart the pipes. Like I said, pipe dope, pipe tape, a little brush for cleaning the fittings before I put the pipe dope and pipe tape on. After all that, it took 1 hour of time to take this apart. I kind of had the tools handy, and to unthaw 2 feet of ice through the pipe and reassemble. So hopefully that helps out somebody.